Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Live at the Waterhole with myself, Chad Hobson. I'm going to be your naturalist for the morning. I do hope everybody's had a fantastic weekend and the Monday is off to a good start. Hopefully, we'll be able to have some incredible sightings here today in the morning session at Live at the Waterhole. There's already quite a lot of action happening here at Jamala and Madikwe. Hopefully, as the show does go on, we will see some more incredible things. It looks like there's three elephant bulls that are drinking at the waterhole. There's a small little herd of wildebeest and then some zebras also just off to the left-hand side. Does also look like it is quite a hot day outside Madikwe, so hopefully there's going to be a constant flow of elephants that come down to the water. You can see it actually, it's almost like these elephants are just resting, almost taking turns to drink here from the waterhole. Also seems like once those wildebeest have had a drink at the water, that they've just gone to find a little bit of shade. I mean, it is only just after 11 o'clock now, but I can only imagine how hot it must be getting. So for them to come down and have a quick drink and then to find some shade, I think that's what they might be doing for the remainder of the day. Just resting until that sun does maybe start to drop a little bit later on, and then they might start to move around again. Pattis McGargan, you're saying good morning, good day, Chad. Yes, what can I find you today? Not 100% sure what I can find you. We're gonna have to just wait and see, Pattis McGargan. Um, I'm hoping for a lot of elephants that come down to the water holes to drink. Just being quite a hot day. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be lots of elephants that do come down to cool themselves off. But we'll take anything and everything that we can get. Crafty Jacks, good morning to you. I also hope that it's going to be a busy day at the waterhole. I mean, it is already quite busy with lots of zebras and wildebeest and elephants, so I'm sure there'll be some more things. And when we do get to go to other water holes, hopefully there's also going to be some action for us. Thomas, you're asking, can a herd become too big for a matriarch to manage? So, sure. Um, I think yes and no. The thing is, like, there would be herds of elephants that can become like over 100 elephants, but there'll always be just one leader. Like she's going to lead them to different areas to go and drink and feed and things like that. So it's not like she really has to manage the whole herd, if that makes sense. But if the herd does come too big, you'll often find that small little family groups within that herd will move on. So they might then split and just move away. So I think if other elephants feel that it's too much, they'll then just move on to like just break away from that herd. Kim Faustino, good afternoon to you. Thanks very much for tuning in. Todd Nelson, you're asking, can crocodiles get in there? For sure, crocodiles could come towards this waterhole, use this waterhole as a home. The thing is, I haven't actually seen, like in the last month or so, um, the any crocodile around here. So, I mean, it might just be quite a distance from other water holes and things like that. There might not be too much food availability to the crocodiles. Also, just by looking, I mean, if you think about like Tower Lodge, where there's lots and lots of bird life. I mean, with that, lots of bird life will mean that there's lots of fish and things like that in the water for them to feed on. And you don't actually see the likes of any of the storks, like a yellow-billed stork, woolly-necked stork, or any crakes or anything like that around here. So I can only imagine that there's not too much food availability in the water here, and that's maybe why we don't get the crocodiles around this water hole. Darkman Lover, good morning to you.
If you're hooked on Africam's live wildlife cams, then it's high time you joined Africam All Access. As a member, you'll be part of an exclusive pack with plenty of perks like uninterrupted, crystal clear streams, access to our chat feature, chances to flaunt your photo skills, and of course, exclusive content. Just head on over to Africam's YouTube channel and hit that join button to sign up for Africam All Access.
So I mean, you see here now. There's the three elephant bulls. These three elephant bulls could form a little bachelor herd, but also they could have all come at different times to the water. But you might find that they might even leave the water together. And so I mean, sometimes they'll then spend time together, and once they're at that age where they're fully into their must cycles and they'll go and fight for females to mate with, then they might leave one another. But they also could just venture off by themselves. You can see how these elephants have also thrown some water on themselves to keep themselves a little bit cooler during the heat of the day. And also, I mean, you'll often see elephants as they're at the water. They'll often throw water onto the backs of their ears. And if you're able to see the backs of their ears at some point, there's a lot of different veins in the backs of their ears. And when they are flapping those ears of theirs, it often will be able to then cool their whole body down. And lots of blood flow through those veins behind their ears. Dogman Lover, you're asking if I've ever seen any live kills at the Waterhole from predators. I haven't. So, yeah, I haven't seen any kills live at the Waterhole. I really do wish I can at some point see. Have I ever seen somebody else? I think it might have been Ralph. He had the pack of wild dogs at Rosie's Pan, um, a kill in Impala, which was quite incredible. I went and watched that um, a while ago, and that was pretty incredible to see. So there's another elephant that's now joined in. You can see like they're almost sort of eyeing one another out. Look how this one on the right's putting its ears out, acting quite big. They're almost like sizing one another up. Dottie Gillespie saying, "What a lovely way to wake up. Thank you, sir. You are a joy to listen to. It's only my pleasure. I'm glad you are enjoying this. And I'm glad you're enjoying listening to me." Seems like this bigger elephant bull's just keeping an eye on those two younger ones. And just a reminder to everybody that this is a live and interactive show, so please do send through your questions and comments. If you would like to subscribe, you can do so on the WildEarth website, or if you would like to just join the conversation, you can do so on X using the hashtag WildEarth. I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have for me this morning. Martin One Jr., you're asking, do lone male elephants ever come to a waterhole for company? Sure. To be honest with you, I couldn't say yes, I couldn't say no to that. I think, I mean, they would come down to the water for to drink and to cool off and things like that, but I couldn't answer if they come down if they're lonely, to be dead honest with you. But I can only imagine that they might think, okay, well, if I go to the water, there might be other elephants there, can maybe join up and form a small little bachelor herd. So, I mean, in essence, maybe yes, but I wouldn't be able to 100% say. Big elephant bulls now chased off those other smaller bulls. Now just enjoying the water by himself. Seems like even all the zebras and wildebeest have also moved off from the water. Maybe it was a little bit too hot for them to be standing on the outskirts of the water. They came down for a quick drink and then have continued on. Most likely going to find little bit of shade. Let's see, maybe this elephant bull is going to wander into the water. Go and have a swim.
If you are a driven nature enthusiast with a background in communications, then this message is for you. WildEarth is calling for volunteers to moderate our web and social media chat platforms during our live broadcasts. Do you keep up with the latest trends on social media? Do you have quick fingers and a sharp eye? Then we're looking for you. To apply, email your CV to us at jobs@wildearth.tv. Join the WildEarth team today. WildEarth, connecting with nature.
Just having a look at this elephant, it almost looks like it's got not too much hair on the end of its tail. And often you'll see elephants have got quite a lot of hair at the end of their tails, and I mean you never know. Maybe just this elephant was walking through thicker bush and that tail got in between two sticks and pulled off or something along those lines. So maybe as he gets into his older age, he starts to lose a little bit of his hair. Cookster's little field, you saying he sure has a perfect aim for his drenching spots. The aqua minty tone of the water makes a nice background. It does make a nice little background. The color of the water. Yeah, at Jamala, it seems like it's almost a little bit different compared to all the other water holes that we have. Darkman Lover, you're asking when these water holes dry up, does someone add water to them? Um, so, Darkman, where this elephant's drinking now, that's actually where this water hole is pumped from. So, I mean, there's a fine like balance between giving too much water and giving too little water. Like they want to be able to have enough water in this water hole for all the animals to come down and to drink, and not for it just to be muddy. So there's like a constant supply of water to these water holes, and if they do see that there's too little water in it, they can then open up the borehole a little bit more and feed more water in. So just depending, I mean, in the rainy season, there might be a lot less water that they give to the animals just because the rain's going to fill up a lot of these water holes. But in the dry winter months, they might need to feed more water because there's not too much water around the reserve for different animals. So it's a constant up and down. Um, they'll sometimes feed lots, sometimes feed little, just depending on the amount of rainfall that they would have had. But to answer your question, there will always be water around. joined by another small herd of zebra that have come down to quench their thirst on this beautiful hot day out in Madikwe. He's just giving himself a nice little scratch on that little rock. Also, a small little bachelor herd of impalas that we often actually see them around the waterhole here. Just looking at this view now that we've got here currently, it seems like it is very, very dry. It seems like it's just getting drier by the day here at Jamala. Also, one of the things is, I mean, there's a lot of animal movements around the waterhole. So that can often, I mean, you can think about herds of elephants coming in and out of this waterhole. They like trample on the ground, and so it also can then like kill a lot of the grass and things like that around the water just because of all the movement. And that's why it might look very, very dry and arid here. But I'm sure as soon as you get a little bit further away from the waterhole, it might change just a little bit.
Ubuntu. I am because we are. A new dawn for the fastest growing continent on the planet. Be part of Africa's Web3 awakening. Ubuntu Token, launching 29th February 2024. Join the allow list now.
Yeah, the blacksmith lapwing was calling in the background. See that young male impala coming down to drink. He's a little bit hesitant. I mean, I would also be a little bit nervous if I was a lone impala coming down to a waterhole. You can imagine how vulnerable some of the animals might be, especially if you're by yourself. Coming down to drink, you're focusing on drinking the water. You can't really see what's coming up behind you. But if you're in a herd of animals, then it's a little bit different because, I mean, the more eyes, the more ears, the better chance of spotting something. Hey, Footy, asking if I ever had an animal jump onto my vehicle. Touch wood, no. I haven't had that happen to me. If you are like out in the bush and something does seem like it wants to get that close to you, often what will happen is the ranger will start the vehicle or sometimes even hit the vehicle on the side to make a noise to get that animal a little bit away from you. The thing is, you don't want that to happen. You don't want the animals to be that accustomed to the vehicles, jumping on them and things like that. Because, I mean, after all, they are wild animals. So, I mean, they are also unpredictable. As much as they are predictable, they also are unpredictable. Like, you never know what's happened to that animal the night before, and you go towards it and it might have had a fight with another animal that night, and you go towards it and it wants to take revenge, and then something does happen. Um, so yeah, you never really want to let an animal get that close to you. I really want to see some elephants swimming today, so it would be incredible if we could get a herd of elephants come down to the water and cool themselves off. And just a reminder to everybody, it is a live and interactive show, so please do keep your questions and comments coming through on X. You can use the hashtag WildEarth if you would like to send any questions, or if you would like to subscribe, you can do so on the WildEarth website. I thought that elephant, sometimes when the elephants do come down to this particular waterhole, they sometimes swim just in front of the rocks where that one elephant is there, or off to the right hand side. It seems like it's like the two deepest parts of the waterhole here where they're able to submerge themselves. So I was hoping that that elephant was going to go there, but I don't think he's going to. We'll just have to wait and see, I guess. Okay, I think we're gonna change it up a little bit. We've been here at Jamala for a little while. Why don't we head over to Ukuguyo to see what's happening there? Beautiful change in scenery up into Namibia. We've got a beautiful big herd of zebras that have come down to drink at the waterhole, as well as quite a few springbuck that are moving behind them. It's always nice to see larger herds of animals coming down to drink. And you can see often when the animals come down to the water to drink, they often will step into the water. And it's just to try and get to the freshest part, or the freshest water. Cookster's little field is saying a wet dazzle. Yes, indeed it was a wet dazzle of zebras that came down to drink, and as quick as they came down to drink, they've now just started to leave. There's 2 oryx, or gemsbok, we like to call them, that have come down to join us.
Good afternoon and welcome to WildEarth's Bush Hub here in the Western Kruger. My name is James Henry, Gerrit is on camera, and over the next 30 minutes we're going to look at the highlights that took place in the field over the last 24 hours. We'll have a look at yesterday afternoon's sunset safari, this morning's sunrise safari, with an eye to planning this afternoon's activities in the field. This is On Safari.
Dan from the UK, good morning to you. Are you pleased to see zebras? Zebra babies are one of your favorites. I'm very glad you're enjoying to see these zebras. And they are definitely a favorite for a lot of people. I mean, any baby out here in the bush is a favorite for a lot of people. I'm glad you're enjoying the zebra babies. Nice to see a little baby springbuck. You can see now just in the center of the screen there's actually not too many babies that I've seen. There's only a handful of them. Honey Badger, good morning to you. It is very nice to see Ukubuya so busy. It's quite often that we come here and there's only a small little group of, like, say, springbuck or oryx or some giraffes coming down to drink, but it's very busy today. Lots of them coming down to drink, lots of different and interesting noises that we're listening to. And also hear the European bee eaters calling in the background. often find them in quite large groups together, the European bee eaters. Beautiful colors to them. Now, I know it does say it in their name, but they won't only just feed on bees. Their diet does make up mostly of bees, but they will feed on any small flying insect that they might be able to get their beaks on. It's actually quite incredible to see them hunting. If they catch a bee, they'll then go and land on a branch, and they'll then try and get the sting from the bee out, and then they'll eat the bee. Can be quite interesting to watch. Sounds like the ravens are having a go at one another. Just see one of them flying over there. I'm from the UK. I think the springbok, they are very, very pretty antelope. But for me personally, um, a sable antelope has got to be the prettiest. That's it's a personal thing, but yeah, I just think their colors on them are beautiful, like black shiny colors. To me, they definitely are the prettiest of them.
Good afternoon and welcome to WildEarth's Bush Hub here in the Western Kruger. My name is James Henry, Gerrit is on camera, and over the next 30 minutes we're going to look at the highlights that took place in the field over the last 24 hours. We'll have a look at yesterday afternoon's sunset safari, this morning's sunrise safari, with an eye to planning this afternoon's activities in the field. This is On Safari.
Dan from the UK is saying that you've just Googled the sable antelope and see what I mean. They do indeed have very, very impressive horns. Such a beautiful antelope to see. Seems like that nice big herd of zebra and gemsbok have now just disappeared. But I'm sure they've had their drink and they're now going to head off towards the tree line, maybe go find a shaded spot to rest a little bit, or even go and find a nice area to feed for the afternoon. Because I can only imagine within this area where we are now, Okugoyo, they've got to move huge distances in order to find food and nutritious food for that matter. I mean, you can even see around here in the last 2 weeks or so since those couple of rainstorms, there is a little bit of greenery, but it's not too much. So, I mean, they are going to have to move far and wide to go find the necessary nutrients for them. There you got a beautiful view of these oryx. Beautiful, long, straight, narrow horns. Can only imagine how tough it must be for these antelopes to fight with one another. So it is now coming up to 12:30 where we bring on board Africam. So just a shout out to Africams. Thanks very much for opening up all the different and beautiful locations to us as well as the viewers. We all do really appreciate it.